If you want to pass the grade 4 PEP writing task, you must communicate clearly, organize your ideas, and show creativity. Here are 12 tips to make you ace your grade 4 PEP writing task. Now, before you write, read the prompt twice, not once, twice. Why do you read it twice? Because you want to make sure that you identify the keywords, circle the keywords. If it says, for example, write a story about a time you helped someone, your essay must be a story. If it says write a letter, it must be a letter. So you have to be very careful about those keywords. And you must include helping words in your story. Don't go off the topic. Read carefully what they want you to write about so that you don't go off topic and write about what you want to write about. Yes, I know you are the center of the universe, but in the PEP language arts writing task, you have to give the examiner what they want, and you have to read carefully to know what is the task and stick to it, or you're going to lose marks. Second tip, I would advise you to spend about 5 minutes planning your writing. Remember that PEP, the markers love organization. They love to see that you're able to organize your writing. So if you spend 5 minutes to draw a quick little plan, or what we call a story mountain, maybe you can draw 3 or 4 boxes to write what each paragraph will contain. And that is your plan. Remember, in the plan, you're not going to write full sentences. It's a plan. Just bullet points, keywords to help you remember what you're going to develop in the paragraphs. So in the beginning, you need to answer the who, where, what is the problem. In the middle, you can focus and elaborate on what happened. And by the end, you should be able to express how was it solved, how did you feel. Even 3 bullet points will help to make your plan clearer to you, and that beats having no plan at all. Step 3, pick one main idea. Grade 4 essays are short. You guys get away. You really get away because 1 page is enough for grade 4. So you have to ensure that you don't try to tell everything, right? You don't have to give every single detail. For example, if you're writing about your vacation, pick one beach day from your vacation, or one dog rescue, one scared moment, and then you can elaborate on that one moment. You don't have to tell about every single thing that happened when you went on the vacation, from the time you arrived and they booked you and you got your room and you went to eat. You don't need to put all of that details, right? Stick to one important point and develop that scene. Step 4, so while you're writing, hook the reader in the first sentence. Your very first sentence should be a very powerful hook. So a bad example is, I am going to write about my dog. The story will be about my dog. No. A better example would be, my heart was pounding as I watched Max run into the busy street. That grips the reader, it pulls them in, it hooks them, it wants them to find out more about what happened to Max when he ran into the street. So you are talking about your dog, but telling them that Max ran into the street in the very first sentence, that pulls them in, it piques their interest, and it will keep them reading. Step 5, use the 5 W's. In language arts, we talk about the 5 W's, and ideally, you should try to include the 5 W's in the beginning of your writing task. Who, what, when, where, why. And we also throw in the bonus H, how. So get those in early on in your writing task so the marker isn't confused. For example, last Saturday, I was at my grandma's house in St. Anne when I heard crying from the backyard. Can you identify the W's or the H? So last Saturday, that answers when. I was, so that answers who. At my grandma's house in St. Anne, that answers where. When I heard crying from the backyard, that answers what. Very important. Put those early on in your writing task. Tip number 6, show, don't just tell. Don't just tell. Don't say, I was scared. Instead, you can say, my hands were shaking and I could not shout. Just by explaining that, it tells the reader that you were scared, but in more creative and interesting way. The PEP markers give extra points for sensory details, what you saw, heard, felt. So not just to say, but to explain and tell what is it that you experienced. How did you feel? Tip number 7, use paragraphs for each part. Remember, one paragraph to one main idea. That's the whole point of paragraphs. Each paragraph should be about a main idea. Even 3 short paragraphs is better than one giant block of words that looks so intimidating. So paragraph 1 might be your beginning. Paragraph 2, your middle, where you elaborate on the problem. And paragraph 3, the ending and how you felt. What lesson did you learn? Tip number 8, drop in some strong verbs and adjectives. Replace the doing words or looking words. You want to be colorful in your writing, right? You want to be colorful. You don't want to be boring. So instead of saying, I walked, you could say, I trudged, I raced, I tiptoed. These are more specific actions and they pinpoint to the reader exactly what you were doing and what was happening. Instead of saying nice, because nice is a word that people like to throw into things, it's like it is a fix all for everything to just say it was nice. Don't use nice. You can say it was delicious. It was sparkling. Instead of just saying it was bad, you can say it was terrifying, right? You only need 3 to 4 to make your writing pop out. Tip number 9, include dialogue if it's a story. So, help, I shouted. Just 1 to 2 lines of talking makes the characters real, makes them come alive, and boosts your creativity score. Dialogue adds a lot to your writing. Remember, when you're writing dialogue, every time a new person begins to speak, that should be in its own line. It's almost like its own mini paragraph. When someone else is responding, they too get their own mini paragraph. We're almost there. 3 more tips to go. Tip number 10, answer the so what at the end. PEP calls this a reflection, because you, the writer, should have gone through a process, and you want the reader to also go through a process. So don't just end with, then we went home. A better ending would be, I learned that helping feels better than winning. I will never forget Max's wet nose touching my hand wet nose touching my hand after I saved him. So how did that experience with Max make you feel? And how do you think Max felt having to be rescued in the middle of a busy street? Now, before you hand in your work, tip number 11, check the basics. 2 minutes. Check for your capitals. Make sure your names, places, the word I when you're talking about yourself, make sure all of them start with a capital letter. The initial word letter, not the entire word. And don't over capitalize or unnecessary capitals where they don't belong. Some of you like to write in block letters for everything. Don't do that. Your organization, like I said before, is very important. So ask yourself, do I have a beginning, a middle, and an end? It should be clear. Your punctuation, question signs, exclamation signs, commas, full stop, those are very important. Spelling, read back over and check for spelling. Circle the words that you're unsure of, and just ask yourself, try and remember seeing that word in a passage or something. Ask yourself, is this how this word is spelled? Because sometimes words look strange, and if you examine them carefully, you can pick up what is missing. Maybe a double letter should be there. Maybe it's a single letter instead of a double letter. Check for your S's at the end of plural words, or your ES at the end of plural words, right? So you can get some easy marks by just checking for your grammar, punctuation, capitalization, organization, spelling. Those are some easy marks that you will lose if you don't pay attention to these tips. And the last tip, write neatly and stay in the lines. The markers can't grade what they can't read. I always tell my students, if the examiner cannot read your work, even if you write the most brilliant, creative, beautiful writing task, if the examiner cannot read it, how are they going to know that it's the most brilliant, creative, beautiful task? They will never find out, because they cannot make out what you have written. If you make a mistake, put one line through it or erase it completely. Do not scribble, do not shade it over. Okay? You can leave a line between your paragraphs so it's easy to read. And here's a bonus tip, which maybe it's a secret that the markers have been keeping, but they are checking for something that we call your voice. Your voice. In your writing, it should sound like you are speaking. Remember, you are the narrator. You are speaking to the reader. So that you-ness should be there, right? You can put in a little humor, right? Use up your literary devices. Even at grade 4, you can throw in some similes, using as or like. Describe your characters, describe their facial features, describe their bodies, describe the scenery. Is there anything peculiar about the character that stands out that you want to mention? Right? If you're a funny person, throw in some jokes, right? Make the examiner laugh. If you're thoughtful, let your narrative be thoughtful. You should be flowing from your writing. Okay? Don't write what you think adults want to hear. Write what you want to express. Okay? And always practice before the exam. Practice writing your stories, your essays, your writing tasks. Okay? Anything that is interesting to you, just find the time to do some practice, right? And always remember at the end to include how you felt, how you think the other characters may have felt, and what really happened. How was it resolved? Okay? So those are my tips, my 12 tips for the PEP language arts writing task. If you follow these tips, you are absolutely positively sure that you will do very well.